Oh, I like that one better.
Nice, Michael.
There's the jacuzzi.
This one's bigger.
Okay, on the man's bathtub, has anybody ever heard of baptism of fire?
No.
Yes.
Okay. When Abel made an offering to God, what did he offer? The fruit of the field, right? The fruit of the Father. Well, the greatest fruit that he could offer was himself. So he offered himself on the altar and says, Father, this is the fruit. You can have me. And a pillar of fire consumed him, and he was given life eternal. Cain looked at that and was jealous. What did Cain offer?
See, Mom, we're not by that.
Cain offered a meat offering. His brother, he quartered him on the altar. Because that's the only way you can kill somebody that's actually received the baptism of fire. It's a literal fire that envelops a man. Women don't do this, men do.
They sacrifice themselves?
Uh-huh. Because they have the physical priesthoods. The women have the spiritual.
So they
And the
build-
next place will show you what the women do to equal or even greater what the man has done.
So they build like a big fire in there? And
Nope. You stand in there and you make a righteous offering. You. And if it's accepted, there will be a pillar of fire come down and
okay.
consume it.
No, friend. Dad,
And of course, if you don't have the faith, then you're going to be burned up. If you do have the faith, you're not. A lot of history and a lot of folklore and stuff all
get down.
say, hey, this is, something that can happen.
Get down, friend.
Okay, her name's Sierra, okay? Can you remember that?
She calls her.
Okay, on those on the walls where he's at, this one actually has a lot of plaster. You can see a lot of the writings on this one. On the next wall over there, you'll be able to see the writings even a little better. We're going to go down and touch the writings and fill it and show you how to read them closer, so you'll be able to see them better.
Here's something. Yeah.
That's the birthing seat. It really is. Actually, what would happen is the midwife would place the oils and the salves and stuff here for the birthing of the mother. She would place her sacrifices and offerings here, and she'd have the baby in the water. That is, the women shed blood that men might be, men shed themselves that all might be. So the baptism of fire is done by the man, the baptism of fire is done by the woman in different manners. And there's nothing wrong with you sitting in that chair. I'm not giving you a bad time. It's just what they did in their temple rites is everyday life was so sacred to them, having the child and them kind of things, that they would definitely do it in the temple.
What? I know that.
Beach hospitals, huh?
Yeah, a lot of birds are really nice.
Well, according to these people, that was the only way to really accept the child. And that's where Catholicism has picked up baptizing the dead. Or not the dead, but baptizing the baby.
How do they make these?
I'm sure they use chisels and stuff. You got to realize this one's only about 6,000 years old. So the water and stuff would have washed it down a little bit.
Impact. Was this crack
Why does it
supposed to
look
be
like
here,
water's
or?
supposed to run through?
What's that?
Why does it look like water's supposed to run
Okay, the water was supposed to run out of here. It would only get that deep, and then it would run off till they could keep fresh water coming in. And this crack over here is from the moistures and stuff over the years has seeped into it, and the freezing and stuff has cracked the stone.
What about this right here?
What's that? This right here was so that they could wash and clean and prepare everything out of this water here. Keep this pure and holy, and they would be able to be cleaned and pured over there.
Is that where the water comes from?
The water would come from up here. There was like a little fountain they had set up. And there is a spring and stuff down underneath. Now it just goes back down into the ground. Because if we did that today, then people, they don't keep track of things anymore, and they don't respect it what it used to be.
What if you had to have a baby in the winter time?
I see you.
Oh, that's right.
Is the 9th step of the temple. We've covered a couple coming through here, what you do with your golden stuff. Now right here, you would wash and prepare to go through the veil. Okay, you still have your bag of gold with you. Right over here is the veil of the temple, right here. This is the veil of the temple right here. Yeah? You know what that means? Anybody have an idea what the cross means? The cross doesn't mean, you know, the cross isn't what Christ was killed on, right? Everybody understands that. The crosses they made didn't look like that. This is the ancient symbol meaning the unification of the four corners of the earth, and the light was sent from heaven to unify it. And that's why Catholicism adopted that, is because it was the most ancient of symbols. It means we will all unify as a one. The daughters of the morning star, the upside down star with the fifth point pointing towards the ground, that's the morning star. It's one of the most sacred symbols. Even the Congressional Medal of Honor is that symbol. It's not Satan's symbol, it's God's symbol. And so the cross represents the unification of the four corners of the earth to a one, with the light coming to the earth. The stem, meaning all will be unified. The crosses they used to hang them on was just a bunch of planks on poles. They didn't look like that. So there's a cross right here, and now that means is we will all be unified.
Where?
Right here to the side. So, okay, I want you to stand right back here. You're not going out on the edge yet. Okay, you two will come out on the edge. The man would come through the veil first, and he'd take his little cup of gold, he'd pour it in here, he would mix it with some water and a couple of oils, very specific oils, put his gold here, take it, and he would drink it. You're allowed to do that 9 times, from the age of 73 to 82. It rebirths the body, totally. It's the perfect body element. Silver is for God's element. It's a perfect, a perfect molecule. Gold rebirths the body. Gold and silver was made to help you, not to use as currency, but everybody forgot what it was about. So they now put this price on it because they don't know what it's really about, but it has a price now because it was sacred, it was holy, it was important. But everybody forgot why it was so important. The man would drink his gold here, then he'd come back over here to the veil, and the woman would place her gold here. And notice how it's been heated on the rocks. You can actually see the red on the rocks and stuff. The woman's gold would place oil on it. The man would touch a light to it and it would burn. And it would heat the gold and expand the molecule. Then she would put her cup here, and she'd have a hot cup of Java, and she'd be reborn internally. Eventually, after about 3 to 4 years, the flesh on the body and everything would catch back up to what was inside the body, and they'd be back to youthful years, early 20s type thing. Wow. And so, yeah, the fountain of youth and all that comes from this type of ceremony. But now you can actually touch and feel where it was really at.
Not yet.
I
They're not
wouldn't
even
do it
20
now,
yet.
buddy. Mom don't want to change your diaper again. After you drink the gold, you come out here. This is where the incense were burned. Remember how the incense were burned at the other veil? This is where the incense were burnt. This is where oil would be placed. Water would be placed here. The man would wash the woman's feet. He would anoint them right here, because the washing and the anointing of the feet is the final sealing, the eternal sealing. When you go to a regular temple, they say we're given preparatory ordinances. That washing and anointing, or what we call the Last Supper, is the sealing ordinance, that the one that can't be broke after that. Oh, okay, we'll show you what this is. That's called the Eye of Horus. Okay? You stand right back here and you'll see it's an eye. All right? These other things are for incense, for different parts of this part of the ceremony. This is what they call the Holy of Holies in a modern day temple. Where you wash and anoint each other's feet, you burn the incense at the veil. Now, in the older temple, how many curtains did you go through to meet the Ark of the Covenant? 3. 3, right on. So, 1, 2, if we went to the third curtain, we should actually see the face of God then, right? You guys want to see how to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Winnie Pooh.
I don't need my friend can go.
Okay.
Daddy, I'm happy.
It does look like a heart, huh?
Is this here for any reason, Jerry?
What's that? A lot of this is done through the erosion.
That's why I was just
through the
making
last
sure.
few thousand years. They're all placed up on top of this room. The stones actually cover the ceiling to the room that's inside here. But we got to do some Indiana Jones stuff before we figure out how to get in that room, don't we?
Okay, you want one?
meet God himself. If you're truly going to meet God, you have to do something, right? What would that be? We've done all this to rebirth our bodies and stuff. Now we want to meet God.
Hi, we're down here.
What happens when you stand before the Ark of the Covenant? What happens if you stand before the Ark of the Covenant and you're not worthy? You died, didn't you? And that's why the white rope was tied around your waist. It was dyed in lamb's blood, so it turned white. Okay, so to make yourself ready, you'd come over here. This little pot here had water in it. This one had oil. You'd wash your lips and anoint them so you would speak no guile beyond this point. Because now you're getting ready to go meet your God. Now all these things, you're going to go talk to him and say, hey, thanks, dude. You know, you've hooked me up with a new life.
Okay, Mom. Come here.
You're not going to stand there and help all of them down, or just Mom?
I'm gonna help Mom down.
Sure. They're called the witness seats. Dude, I'm serious. They're the witness seats. Sit in this one over here and just kind of watch what they do, and then you come down and try it. It's cool. Come on down.
I can't fit in it.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Meet God, right? Let's all kind of stand back. You're standing on there, Kath. Just kneel down.
Kneel down here.
Uh-huh. That is Jacob's pillow. Look back up to the eye of Horus, back up where you just done that. You're going to have to move. What do you see?
The sky.
Okay, but do you see something else?
Oh, it's like a keyhole.
It's a keyhole to see the face of God. The witnesses will bear witness that you are seeing God.
Wow, that's awesome.
On the 21st day of April, if you'll kneel down there and look up there during the night, you'll see the city of Enoch.
Really? Have you tried it?
Oh yeah, many times.
21st of April?
Okay.
That's
My
awesome.
daddy said,
Remind
take
me.
your friend down.
Easter weekend.
We're gonna see everyone here, all of us again.
I've told maybe 500 people about it, and I've never once met somebody here.
Seriously? I'll be here.
You shake your head yet? Okay.
What time is it?
It's at night, and I can't.
The sun sets?
After the sun sets, between sunset and sunrise, and I can't tell you what time. It just happens. And there's a bright light that comes through there, and you just look up, and it's like looking through a telescope. You see the city of Enoch.